Hello again, everyone. I am back with yet another serious, eye-opening, and thought-provoking message. The title, topic, or subject matter of this message is white face. And I would just like to say that we know that blackface is going on, but I'm here particularly to talk about whiteface. And to be honest with y'all, there's no such thing in Hollywood, well, for the most part, as, a white person, because Satan, you have to remember something, when he was thrown out of heaven, before he was thrown out of heaven, as a matter of fact, he was actually a black angel. And the reason why Satan hates blacks so much is because, our black skin and stuff like that and our features. That's why he makes fun of us, because he's jealous of us, because when God threw him out of heaven and stuff, he put leprosy on him and thousands of other diseases on him, the demons and the fallen angels. So now they have this pale skin, blonde hair, and blue eyes. They're albinos basically. And so, but they secretly desire to have our features. Because if you notice this model right here, this is clearly a black person that's been whited out, okay? A black individual. They use this, and this could very well be a human robot or something. In other words, they look human on the outside. On the inside, they have electronic parts or something, like, y'all washing machines and y'all other electronic and I would say electronic devices and appliances in your home. And of course, this is a clone because this synthetic skin and stuff like I don't know who this is. It's probably one of those Instagram models or something. And notice how this individual has had a nose job to make it look more like a white person's nose. And this is clearly, a black person's nose has been, it was wider and probably flatter, but they had a nose job done. This one kind of looks like Kim Kardashian. Notice the full lips. I mean, they love those features. This just looks like a biracial, a mulatto or something. That's, try to appear as white. This individual isn't white at all, it's black. And notice how the jaw sticks out and the chin sticks out past the forehead. And this is a negroid feature, okay? It's clearly a black person. And I guess this is a mixed chick, passing as white, okay? Notice the full lips and overall negroid features. Probably just bleached skin and a lace front wig or something. This, by the way, this is the sun. And sun worship is devil worship. That's why these Illuminati individuals worship is the sun. Okay, but moving forward, and this is Joan Baez and Matt. I would say not Matt. I'm sorry. This is Bob Dylan. The original name is Robert Zimmerman. Of course, Bob Dylan is a Jew. And I suspect this individual, and Bob Dylan is also a female. Okay, they're both transgender. Okay, the he is a she and the she is a he, and this is a black man. This is clearly a black person. I would say this individual might be Native American or something, but I think this individual is just another individual in Hollywood, or Hollywood, or Unholywood, or trashy Tinseltown that's black but passing as white, okay? This individual, for the most part, it just looks biracial, but it looks very hard looking. This one has a, more softer feminine features and stuff. By the way, this picture was taken in 1964, 65. Okay, and this model right here is clearly, and of course you got the sun and, the one-eye symbolism is covering the right eye because the Antichrist is going to have defective right eye. And this is clearly a black person that's been immersed in bleach and stuff. Notice the full lips and just the overall negroid features and stuff. It's clearly a black person. And this group right here is ABBA, and they're supposedly from, Sweden, which is in Scandinavia. And one of the things that Scandinavians or the Nordic people are known for is their blonde hair and blue eyes and stuff, and pale skin and thin nose and lips and stuff like that. But as you can very plainly see, none of these people are white. They were actually made from DNA of blacks that lived a long time ago. I mean, look at this fellow right here. The square jaw face. This is clearly a black person. Look at the gap tooth smile. Okay, and the only thing they changed really was just their coloring, their hair texture, and this is a black person also. And it's also, these two are also transgender. I mean, these could be men, but, they probably have female parts in their bodies. And they have female parts in their bodies and, they've been bred over the years and stuff. And notice how this one right here, I don't really know all their names. I have to look it up or something, but how they're sticking the hip out and stuff to try to make you think it's a woman. But let me move on ahead. And this is, I forgot this fellow's name, but he's from the AC/DC rock band. This individual is clearly African American. I mean, look at the full lips, the broad, wide, flat nose. The only thing they did was just probably change the hair texture a little bit because the hair is clearly, naturally curly and stuff. But gave it blonde hair, blue eyes, and just pale skin. And I also, the Holy Spirit also revealed to me the other day that these people aren't actually, their skin texture their skin tone or complexion wasn't actually changed, but rather they either use skin bleach or bleaching pills, which can mess up your liver, just like the melanin pills can, to make their skin, white like this. And I believe it even alters the color of their eyes to make everybody think they're white or something when they're not white at all. And this is Emma Stone, who's also African American, who they had in that movie, The Help, and they were passing off as a white person. But this actually made from DNA of a black person. Okay? But moving forward, this is one of, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie's children. And as you very well see, this is actually a black child, but without albinism. And Satan is obsessed with this look because that's what he looks like. And you have to understand and bear in mind that, Satan isn't promoting European beauty necessarily, because not all white people have blonde hair and blue eyes and pale skin. Okay? And but on the other hand, like as I said earlier in this message, he had both, he had Negroid, he was a black angel when he was that very dark skin, like African black. So he's going to make his creations that way, but, look like him, but, they're albinos. This is clearly a little black child with albinism. Because mind you, if, with black people, you take away all that, like a little black baby like this, you took away all their melanin, this is what they look like. And the hair texture, they didn't even do much about it. This baby could just very well have a perm or something. And Angelina, and by the way, I would just also like point out that Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie, also African American. I use that term because, it's just for a better flow of semantics. And also, this is Elvis Presley. Notice the hair texture. This is what black people's hair look like when it's even been straightened or permed. Okay, so what they did was they just basically whited Elvis out so that, they could market him to a white audience, but Elvis is African American. And people make a big deal out of that song, and you ain't nothing but a hound dog. And Big Mama Thornton, who's a man, by the way, had done that song originally, who's supposedly a black woman, but is actually a man. Okay, and Elvis, the elites had given Elvis the song to sing. He did not do that song originally. It's Big Mama Thornton. And you heard that, you very well know this fact. You learned this fact from the movie Dreamgirls, okay? They just gave Elvis, all they did was basically change Elvis' eye color and stuff. If it weren't from the bleaching cream and the melanin pills and stuff, Elvis would be very dark skinned. And he probably wouldn't have these blue eyes or something. Or because, Satan can alter that because nobody in the world of celebrity or in Hollywood or whatever is white, really. Okay, and none of them are real people. Okay, they're all clones, because so Satan can basically go down in those cloning facilities and just like he's genetically modified the food, he can also genetically manipulate humans and stuff, and they don't have a soul. They were never real. And notice the broad, flat nose and the full lips and stuff. This is clearly a black person, 100%. Okay, Elvis is African American. That's why he kind of had a little soul to his voice and stuff, because he's black. Okay. So Elvis was marketed to the white community as a black person. This is another white black person is passing as white, and it's like Elvis was. But anyway, just like Elvis had mixed rock and roll with secular secular music with rock music, and secular music with religious music, or rock and roll with gospel music, and they marketed him to the white community. They did the same thing with Ray Charles. Ray Charles, they marketed him to the black community. Okay, he also mixed in secular and religious music, and basically, in other words, he mixed rock and roll with gospel music, and which is very blasphemous and sacrilegious, by the way. And this is Eminem, right here, Eminem, and the ex so-called spouse. I'm just say spouse because gender means nothing to the elites, those within the elite circles, which are demons behind clone bodies. And this is the ex-spouse, Kim Mathers or something like that. And as you can see, number one, both these people are transgender. These individuals, by the way, are transgender. And Eminem looks like, and this is the look that trans men, especially the white ones, usually have. But the problem is Eminem isn't white, okay? Eminem is actually African American, okay? Just like Kim is. This is clearly a black person, a hard-looking black man. Look at the brow ridge and stuff, sloping back forehead, but Eminem doesn't have one. And Eminem, by the way, was the one that had the daughter, who's also black, by the way. Both these people are African Americans. Okay, so this whole thing about white celebrities and culture vulture, and there's a big controversy surrounding so-called white celebrities stealing black culture. But how can you accuse them of that if they're already black, okay? But they just been altered, their appearance has been altered so that they appear white. And this is Axl Rose from Guns N' Roses. And number one, as you can see, this is a clone because even in bright light, I can't help but notice that these individuals have blown pupils and stuff. That's a sign that, that's one of the indicators is that, of drug use, and we know all celebrities on drugs because that's what Satan will require you when you're in the industry. But second of all, this is a black person. Look at the full lips and once again the wide, flat, broad nose, okay? And how the lower part of the face juts out past the forehead. Okay, that's a very Negroid feature. I would know because I have it myself. Okay, I have a round, flat nose, and I also have full lips. Okay, only thing they did was just straighten this individual's hair and just gave him either bleaching cream, made him use bleaching cream, or bleaching pills. Bleaching pills, to make them fair skin. But as you can see, there's brown undertones. You can see, how the melanin is trying to come back into the skin. But you white people been snow for a long time. This individual is black and also transgender, if not, I would say intersex, if not out and out transgender. Okay, and this is David Gilmour from I would say Pink Floyd, that British band Pink Floyd. This is another individual that's in the industry that's black but passing as white. And here he has thinner lips, but I know it's later on, he has those big old full lips like, it said, well, other races can have big lips. Yeah, that's true, but, black people had a monopoly on that because we had the most dominant genes. I think this is Annalyn Cord or something. This is another black person passing as white. Look at the full lips, or Annalyn just might be biracial or something, half white, half black. And big floppy ears is another indicator that someone is transgender, because men have bigger ears than women naturally. So this individual, although it's spite of narrow jaws and the rounded chin, by the way, it doesn't have pointy or square chin, it's just rounded. Or it could very well just be a woman with, male private parts or something. Again, this is Pink Floyd. Look at the facial structure of the face. Okay, the full lips. This is David Gilmour. I think this was back in 68 or 69. And this individual is clearly African American. This is a black person, 100% passing as white. This one is black, and this is clearly a trans man. Narrow sloping shoulders and wide hips, big thick thighs and stuff. And this is the lead singer. I forgot his name, and notice this is clearly a black person, full lips, and this is the ones. These are the ones. The internet trolls are basically going around calling black people monkeys and niggers and all this kind of stuff. And the ones they putting before you, they're black. I think this one might be white genuinely, because this is the only one that looks white basically. But like I see it, most of the white people in Hollywood were actually black originally. There's very few that are actually white. Okay, and this is Cillian Murphy. And by the way, Cillian is a female's name, okay? I think this individual is intersex and not out and out transgender. Okay, and notice the Negroid features, the full lips and, the lower half of the face jutting out past the forehead. You see this again, and Cillian Murphy is supposedly Irish or something. Have y'all ever heard of Black Irish? Well, they'll all tell you everything you need to know. And clearly had a nose job or a rhinoplasty. This is a black woman, if not a black man, or just both. Okay, it's a black person, okay? This is not a white person at all. It was made from the DNA of someone black that lived long ago. And like I said, no celebrities were ever real, so they can change their DNA and make them appear white. And this is, by the way, John F. Kennedy, that, a lot of preachers and stuff have so much confidence in. John F. Kennedy was never, or John Fitzgerald Kennedy was never a real person, just another Illuminati character. As you can see, this individual was African American, 100% black, okay? Just had a nose job to make the nose thinner. And as you can see, how the melanin is starting to come back in, because when they skip on the bleaching and taking the pills, then the melanin comes back. But I'm gonna move forward since I don't have much time left. And as I said earlier, both these people are black, but my main focus is Brad Pitt. Look at the full lips and the wide, flat nose and stuff. It's a black person. Forget the blonde hair and blue eyes. They can change that. I don't know who this is, but this looks a lot like Sarah Palin's daughter or something. No, Rachel Ray. I'm sorry. This is a politician. This is South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem, and made from the DNA of Rachel Ray. And I forgot who this was, but and by the way, my grandmother looks just like her. She's a black woman, and Patty Boyd is black, and so is Mick Jagger. And see again how the lower part of the face juts out past the forehead, the full lips and stuff, the nose job, and make it like a white person's nose. By the way, I've seen people in Sudan look like this. But if there's nothing further, I'm out. Bye. Y'all be blessed. Peace. Shalom.